Speaking of your guys' growth, you guys are going on three years old now. What has been the most surprising change to you over these trio years?
To Braxton?
Yeah, to Braxton and for you personally, as you helped launch a brewery.
Yeah.
You are 3 years into it. So we'll start with that. What's the most surprising thing that's changed?
I hope this isn't a cliche answer, and I trust you guys will call me out if it is, but the growth in Covington has been incredible.
Not very cliche.
Between Hotel Covington, we've got Grainwell across the street now, Hannaford down around the corner, and there's more guys moving in before the end of the year, the Duvneck development next door. And what's coolest about that is I think us and Hotel Covington are often referenced as kind of the anchor tenants that really made all of that happen. And that's been really amazing to be a part of that. I remember when we were in business plan writing mode 4 or 5 years ago, Jake and Evan, the two brothers who kind of started this on Braxton Drive, brought me down here and were like, we're going to launch a brewery in Covington. Here's Covington. And we drove around. I was like, we're doing what? Where? And I was familiar with Cincinnati, but I was like...
I mean, outside of Main Strauss, it's like, no, I don't go there.
Right.
And I don't really go to Main Strauss, but I know where it is.
Right, exactly.
Everything else is like, no, this is...
But there's a lot of really cool momentum happening in the city right now. So that's been how quickly that's happened, with especially now the Duvneck going in next door. That's been really surprising and just been awesome to be a part of. Me personally, what's most amazing to me is we opened with 6 employees and now we've got 44, I think, and it seems like we're always hiring at this point. And so just all the people we've brought on board, we take great pride. Greg, Evan, and Jake's dad always says we're trying to build the 27 Yankees.
So with all the people you've hired, how many people are left in the Northern Kentucky Homebrewers Guild? Is anyone left in that?
I don't know, yeah.
It's basically, if you want a job at Braxton, join the Northern Kentucky Homebrewers Guild.
Yeah, it's our internship program.
Basically it.
No, but those guys are great. I mean,
Right, and I mean, that's where everyone got started.
They literally helped build this space. Like, so much of our tap room, they quite literally built. And so they'll be here on Saturday, a lot of them volunteering. And they are kind of what got Evan serious about brewing and forever indebted to what they've been able to do for Braxton.
Now, from an industry standpoint, what have you seen change in 3 years? I mean, a lot. But
yeah, I thought
inside, what have you seen change?
I thought we were late 3 years ago, and I still maybe a little bit, but there's still there's still breweries opening like crazy, and I can't imagine opening a brewery in today's industry. There's still plenty of room, I think, for the neighborhood breweries, and there's a lot of national and macro regional, if you will, breweries that have kind of grown into what they are, and they're relatively stable. But I think that growth from going, neighborhood community brewery to regional brewery is really difficult. I think we're on that path, but I think that's probably the hardest thing to do in the industry right now, where it seems like maybe 3 years ago that there was less.
It was easier to gain momentum, maybe.
Exactly, yeah. The velocity was a little bit quicker to get there. But there's just, it sounds kind of cliche and like an easy answer, but there's just more breweries, and a lot of them are awesome. And it's just the shelf space and tap handles aren't growing proportionally to that. So
not anymore, yeah.
I call it co-opetition now. I
like that. That's actually. I haven't heard that. That's very clever.
Yeah, we're all kind of cooperating to a certain point until you get in the same room with the same buyer, and there's only one tap handle left. It's more competitive than it was 3 years ago, I'd say, but it's still very friendly to a certain point.
Now, something I think a lot about is the shelf space issue, that it really hasn't grown a lot lately, and I've seen it sliding backwards in the wrong direction for craft beer anyways. There's more macro stuff out there, especially with buyouts and stuff like that. And now you guys are in, obviously, Covington and Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati. Are you in Dayton or Columbus at all in Ohio?
We're in Dayton. We'll be in Columbus soon, spoiler alert. And then we're in Lexington, Louisville, and Nashville as well.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask about Kentucky. So Lexington, Louisville, and you just opened Nashville a few weeks ago, right?
It's been a month or two now.
Okay.
Yeah.
how is it getting shelf space in those more distant cities? Getting and maintaining. Probably maintaining is a better question.
So maintaining is the hardest part, right?
Everybody wants the new thing,
right?
But I've already had that. So.
We're very fortunate with Kroger in our backyard. We've been able to build a strong relationship with them, and they're looking at data. So your beer has to speak for itself, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're not making decisions based on friendships. That helps, but they're looking at data, right? So you've got to build the product that moves. We've been fortunate, we've hit on a couple of those. Graders was a huge success, and that was something Kroger played a large role in. We cross-shopped their stores with Graders ice cream. They thought that was pretty cool, so we just released a Graders collaboration, or a Kroger collaboration that we're tapping on Saturday. It's called 66 Pearl. It's a Belgian strong ale. It's barrel-aged, another 15% beer for you to try on Saturday. So that's been helpful, but it's something that, you know, for a lot of those breweries trying to grow from neighborhood to regional, that's how you're going to do it, or how it's going to support you in doing it, is those chain relationships, and it's something that we're fortunate we've been successful with so far. But you're right, now the fight is to maintain that space and make sure that you're building the product that provides the data that these people want to store on their shelf.
I'd say, speaking of that fight for the tap handles and the shelf space and everything, how have your guys' plans for expansion, or how you saw the brewery grow changed? Because as with so many of, I'd say, like the second wave of Cincinnati craft breweries, like you guys, Mad Tree, Ryan Geist, you guys had just such explosive growth, and the thing I consistently heard from all of you is that, you know, we blew through our 5-year plan in the first year. So what can you kind of, you know, what surprises can you tell us about, or what things can we look forward to with you guys in the next few years? And then what things have you guys kind of had to change and say, look, that's not really feasible anymore, or we've already done that, so, you know, what do we do now?
Yeah, I think, you know, so we opened up Northern Kentucky, then Cincinnati, Lexington, Louisville, Dayton, and then Nashville. And those all kind of the Lexington, Louisville, Dayton, and Nashville happened pretty quickly. Not quite back to back to back, but there was they happened relatively quickly. We will open Columbus, spoiler alert, probably pretty soon. And then after that, I think next year you're going to see us going really deep where we're already at. I think we've done everything right to this point, but I think now we truly want to invest in those markets and make sure we're giving them the attention they deserve, including our own backyard. So you'll see us make some decisions and moves next year, if you will, to truly invest in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, in the markets we're already in. And then I think that'll set the foundation for where we want to go beyond that. What's fun is, yeah, we blew through those 5-year goals, and since then we've been setting goals quarterly, maybe, you know, biannually, and then just annual goals. Now we sat down as a company, and at our last quarterly all hands team meeting, we rolled out a goal for by 2020. And so we are, you know, we're to the point where we can set goals that aren't just stay in business for the next year, right? So you'll see us, I think, next year really lay the foundation for where we want to be in the next 2 or 3 years. We've doubled the business every year we've been open to this point, and I think you know, there's an upper limit to that, so we want to be strategic with how we're growing and not just grow for growth's sake.
It definitely seems the bigger you get, the slower you start growing.
Right, exactly. So I think you'll see maybe that a little bit next year. I don't know if that's wishful thinking or not wishful thinking, but you're going to see us go really deep where we're already at, and then potentially expand beyond that.